Hello. So today I'm going to tell you a story about how a promising threesome turned out to be the worst one yet. Now, my husband was exploring his bisexuality and playing out his desires, and I was rediscovering who I was as a sexual being, a sexual woman. We'd had about 5 threesomes at this point, MFMs with men, and each one was better than the next. Ultimately, we were having the time of our lives, playing, going out, meeting really extraordinary, amazing people. So we had been corresponding with this guy online, this really good-looking guy online for quite a while, and we were eager to meet him, and he was eager to meet us, but we just couldn't seem to get the schedules together. Usually it takes time for 3 people to come together. People have lives, people have all sorts of things happening to them. And this is when I realized this long-held belief that I had, that I had since I was a little girl, that all men think and care about is sex, was absolutely not true at all. Men have to be physically and spiritually and emotionally ready as well, and men have schedules that they have to take care of, and this was the case here in this situation. But finally a date was set. We were going to go to his place, and we were going to have a play date. Now, this was unusual to the way we usually do it. We usually have a no play date first. We want to, we always want to get to know the person first before we actually make the final commitment. But since it had taken such a long time, there was a lot of correspondence, and we were getting to know each other online, and he was so good looking, and he wanted it, and we wanted it. We made an exception here. And we decided that we were going to go. So before we got to his place, however, something happened. I wanted to buy some black stockings on the way. And all the shopping centers were closed because it's quite late, and so we decided to go check and see if the grocery store had any stockings. And we're both like all dressed up and very, sexually and very, really for the night, and we're feeling really excited, and we're in the store now, the grocery store, and we're like kissing in the aisles and teasing each other, and there's hardly anybody there. And then suddenly, there's a woman walking up the aisle just as my hand is to reach the black stockings, who is one of the mothers from my children's school. I freeze. And I think, oh my God, I'm in shock. And she comes up and she's like, oh, hi, wow, you guys look amazing. Where are you guys off to tonight? I can hardly breathe. I can't move. I'm in shock. This is the first time that our parents' life has now come in connection with our secret sexually exploring life. We're going out for a dinner party. I lie. She kind of looks me over, and she's like, oh, that's really nice. I'm wondering, oh my God, can she tell? Can she tell? I mean, like, can she see what's going on here? So I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm a horrible parent. I feel like she could see right through me. And it's really late, and I'm dressed sexually, and we're going against everything that parents should actually be doing. So I'm just like, oh my God, and so I just want to change the subject as fast as possible, and I say, well, what are you guys doing tonight? Now, she's standing there. She's like dressed in her sweatpants. She's got like a bag of chips and a Coke in her hand. She's like, well, we're going to be at home. We're going to watch a movie, sitting on the sofa. Nothing as exciting as what you guys are up to. I'm like, yeah, if only you knew. And so she kind of looks me over, and then she starts to walk away. Well, have a great time. I'm like, yeah, bye. I'm like, oh my God. Could she tell? I'm wondering, I'm in shock. I mean, what is going to happen to us? Here we are sneaking around, having sex with strangers. Does she know? After we get out of the store and we get in the car and I relax a little bit, I think, okay, of course she doesn't have any idea what's going on. My husband and I start laughing like, oh my God, look at our lives have turned into. It's just crazy. I think like, did she really know? How is this going to affect my life now? Anyhow, we're ready. We're on a mission. So off we go. We drive off to the guy's house. Now he lives in a quiet neighborhood. It's kind of dark. It's quiet. We go up to his home and knock on the door, and he opens up the door, and surprise, surprise, a very nice looking man. Better than the pictures. He offers us to come in, offers us a drink. Now he's a little bit nervous. That's not unusual because I usually am quite nervous. I never know how anything's gonna go. We all know that we're there to play. That's clear, but it's always a mystery as to how it's all gonna get started. So eventually, we kind of sit on the sofa, we pull each other closer, and he and I start to kiss. And my husband's on the other side and he's touching him. And then the guy gets up and he takes off his shirt and he has a really nice body. I'm like, ooh, very nice. And then I get up, I take off my blouse, and my husband gets up, and now we're together again, standing up, and my husband and him are starting to kiss now. And my husband's touching him, and then my husband goes around to squeeze his nipple, and suddenly the guy pulls away and says, well, this is not gonna work. He pulls away out of fear and anger. And then he walks away. And I'm just standing there in shock, like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm thinking, like, we came all this way? My husband was just like, are you okay? Is everything's all right? And the guy says, no, it's just not gonna work out. And then he goes into the kitchen, so he's totally ignoring us. And I'm thinking, what? We come all this way, we get all dressed up, we spend weeks talking to this guy. I go and buy some new black stockings, and he cuts us off after 5 minutes. I'm in total shock. I'm just looking at my husband like, what? My hands are gesturing like, what the fuck? What are we gonna do? So my husband's like, okay, no problem. We'll get dressed. We're leaving now. And we quickly get our clothes on and get dressed and get our stuff. And there's like very little conversation now. And we say goodbye and off we go out the door. We're parked about a block away, so we have to walk down the alley. And I'm just like, I feel so hurt and so upset that we've been rejected. I mean, in my mind, it's a total disaster. My ego is completely destroyed. How could he do this to us? How could he how could he just stop it like this? How could he have the nerve to stop? How dare he? Who does he think he is? I'm thinking. And I look over at my husband and I'm like angry and almost in tears. And my husband is laughing his head off. I'm like, what is so funny? He says, listen, no means no, no matter what. You have to respect, we have to respect whatever the other person says. If he doesn't want to do it and he says no, if he doesn't want to have sex and he says no, it doesn't matter why. It's over, it's finished. And I just think, I understand, even though I get it, I don't really find it that funny at the moment because right now I'm thinking, how could anybody reject me? But I knew that it was very important that no means no, and I have to respect the other person's no. Just like I would like the other person to respect my no if I were to say no. So, if you want to avoid, these kinds of mistakes, then I give you some good details in my video called 5 Steps I Would Take to Have a Successful Threesome Today. You can go and check it out right here. And it's going to include tips and tricks that I have learned over the 23 threesomes that I had. Thank you so much. Click the video here. I will see you again soon. Much love making.